It all starts with my first ever D&D campaign, which took place in high school. Oh, this is gonna be terrible. This is gonna be awful.
No one's gonna
I
get
lie to people constantly all the time, like it's a habit.
All right.
It's just kind of how I go through my existence. All right, welcome to Story 2, Homebrew and the Homophobic Wizard.
What a title!
3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back, where we're joined by guests. We've got our second group of guests here. We've got Anna and Kev from DiceCreamSandwhich. Say hi.
Oh, how are you doing?
Oh my God. I don't know how they're doing. They can't talk back to us. I'm doing great. I mean, it's a good day. You know, I started the day getting rolled in Marvel Rivals again, and then
it is our day-to-day ritual. We play that game.
Getting rolled is your day-to-day ritual?
Yep.
That's wow.
We're
okay,
pretty good, but most of the time we are losing things. No, actually, she's winning. I'm losing.
Okay, well, you know, I sent them a DM a couple weeks back saying I wanted to play together. Now I don't. That's a gaming horror story. Today we're doing horror stories of the tabletop variety since we all play tabletop games. But before we get into that, besides playing Marvel Rivals, what do you two do on the internet and where can they find you?
Oh man, yeah, I go under the handle DiceCreamSandwhich. Been making silly D&D content since 2020. Been doing it a hot minute. Making shorts content on pretty much every platform, like your YouTube as well, TikTok, Instagram. I got to do a lot of contours and stuff. So yeah, it's been insane, but it's been fun, and I'm happy. It allows me to do cool stuff like this with you. So it's been awesome.
Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm, and also Anna, feel free to also introduce yourself, obviously.
Yes.
So I'm Anastasia Rowland, also known as Anastasia Rowland. Wow, so original on all platforms. I am also a content creator in D&D, but I also specialize in project management. So recently I ran the Castleton Kickstarter, and I'm working so hard to bring that to fruition and just kind of general gaming project management stuff. So just happy to be here.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to have you as well. So, all this positivity aside, it's time to get into. So, the first horror story, I've got one from Reddit, and I got one from my email. The first one is titled, I was ghosted before session 0 because I watched Critical Role and played Baldur's Gate. Okay, This all happened a few years ago, but lately I've been watching videos and reading about people's D&D horror stories and help put mine in perspective. Plus, I'm trying to get back into it and wanted to get this out of my head before I jump back in. Around 7 years ago, I was in college and didn't know a whole lot of people, so I was very reserved and kept to myself. One class I was in was a figure drawing class. Figure drawing class? What are these?
What do you mean? Wait. A figure
drawing class.
Like learning how to draw a figure of a human perspective, or like drawing toys? Like
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm closer to my university years than you two, certainly, and like I have
The shade. I mean, it's true.
Figure drawing class. Can't say I've ever heard of that one, and I took some fake ass classes. But in any case, one class I was in was a figure drawing class, and being that we were drawing naked people, so it was about drawing people.
Should have read more.
Yeah, we could have gone ahead a little bit more on that one.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
A lot of us younger people are either super quiet or super introverted, and I was one of the quiet ones that got adopted by an extroverted person. Let's call her Wendy. Wendy was nice, and we became friends that bonded over our mutual interest in art and fantasy. I learned that we both enjoyed going to Ren fairs, watching fantasy shows, playing fantasy video games, read stories, etc. Admittedly, I had a crush on her, and once COVID happened, we did our best to stay in touch via texting and Discord. We ended up moving to opposite ends of the country and started drifting apart, but stay in touch for the next few years. Fast forward 2024. One day, Wendy asks if I'd be interested in a D&D campaign her and her coworkers were going to run. I told her I had never played before because I just didn't have the time or people to play with, but was super interested. And she said she was going to be on Discord so she could help me go. And then they messaged the DM for details. I sent the DM message and start asking a bunch of questions like what my schedule looks like and if I was willing to roleplay if needed. I figured it was a bunch of generic vetting questions, and I was super open and honest the entire time. As DMs, what kind of questions do you ask people? Because I actually, this DM's obviously going to turn into a horror story, but like this is a good start.
It seems perfectly normal, honestly. Like I think it's a really normal thing to ask people what comfort level they have to play, especially when they're new to your group. So I think that that's something that I would ask is, are you more combat focused? Are you more roleplay focused so that you can set the tone for the table? Nothing so far seems to be showing me except, and I know that this is probably going to end up being a DM horror story, the crush is a red flag for me.
Yeah, I mean, it can lead to some, it depends on the professionalism at the table, I guess. Like, I don't know, humans are humans. People are going to have crushes on people, whatever. That's fine. I think it's where that leads in games. It could be a little weird. But yeah, asking questions is always a good idea in session 0, especially if you're playing like a specific themed kind of game. Like, of course, horror themed games, stuff like that. Romantasy games, like what are you comfortable with? What are you not comfortable with in that genre? But
a good lines and veils for me is always imperative to make sure that we have the tone for everything, not just fears, but also romance and sex and just what people are comfortable with.
Yeah, it all sounds great. Personally, like I always try to like focus on stuff like that, but also make sure to ask about like if you're actually interested in playing this kind of campaign. Like I run a lot of like urban, a lot of like punk kind of games, but like melded with fantasy, and that's obviously like a more anachronistic setting. Not everyone's gonna be into that, so you want to make sure people are into that, because if they're expecting Game of Thrones, you're not gonna find it with me.
It's actually such a good point. Yeah. That's such a good point.
Yeah, I tell a lot of people who are taking on the DM role who are new to it, they're like, I don't know if I'm like a Matthew Mercer level, like I can't do voices, like what like they panic. They're like, what am I gonna do? Just be like, in your session 0, just be up front. Just be like, hey guys, this is my experience level. This is what I can do. This is what I can't do. So if you're here for this kind of game, this might not be the game for you. But if you want this kind of game, hey, we're all good. So the more upfront and honest you are to everybody, and like just in life, no one's gonna
I lie to people constantly all the time, like as a habit.
All right,
it's just kind of how I go through my existence. Anyway, next up, I send the DM. I messaged the DM. They sent me a bunch of generic questions. Then he said, Wendy mentioned you've never played before, to which I said, yeah, but I've played like Baldur's Gate 3. I've watched Critical Role, so I have a pretty basic idea of the flow of things. This was apparently the wrong thing to say because his tone immediately changed. Oh, you watch Critical Role? I mean, yeah, here and there. I have it on the background while I'm working. More white noise than anything. I see. But I understand those are like professional entertainers, actors, and storytellers, and production budgets, so I don't expect anything like that. I'll be in touch. And then the call ended. A few days passed. I kept thinking about a character and what dice to get, but I never heard anything. I decided to text Wednesday. I decided to text Wendy, asking her what the plan was going forward and what I should do to prepare. But I never got an answer and was kicked from the Discord server shortly after. That was a few years ago, and it kind of discouraged me trying to find people to play with, both in person and online. I thought I did something wrong or offended the DM somehow. That is,
That's a valid way to feel, to be honest.
That's pretty.
So they mentioned they play Baldur's Gate and watch or they asked.
I don't think it was the Baldur's Gate, man. It was Critical Role. It was 100%.
Yeah, they're like weird.
Dude, everyone keeps on talking about how the Matt Mercer effect is like this real thing that really happens. I talked to Matt Mercer about it, and I was like very upfront with, bro, this is the most chronically online, dumbest thing I've ever seen. People, I'm sorry, but like I don't think most people think like that. Like, people are like, oh my god, watching Critical Role is going to set false expectations. Bro, if you watch Critical Role and genuinely believe that your average living room DM is going to DM like that, then I'm sorry, you are mentally ill. There are problems beyond any kind of Matt Mercer effect.
There are those players out there that want to play this game in a way that's very straightforward, that's not very roleplay focused, and they feel that anything that goes into that realm, it's like, oh, we don't play that kind of D&D around here, and it's like extremely weird.
No, I was gonna say valid. Have the conversation.
Yeah.
Don't just like ghost somebody for just like watching a show. Be like, hey, I'm worried that your expectations might be too high. We should have a conversation. Don't just be like, okay, bye.
They said that they understand that it's a show. Like, they specifically said that. So, bro, what the hell?
speaks to a lot of insecurity in the DM.
Exactly.
And
I'm
honestly,
sorry. The real Matt Mercer effect is that DMs are insecure as fuck. Okay, that's the real Matt Mercer effect.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yes.
Oh, you watch the show. Oh, there's an expectation that I should, like, I don't know, elevate my storytelling. Yeah, no, I don't want to deal with that. No.
You know what's crazy too? People for some reason have this perception of me that I'm like this really like roleplay focused DM. Like, watch me run. I'm not. Like, I'm just not. All my combats get you down to this in terms of survival. I am trying my best to kill you. I'm the meat grinder DM. But like, that's the kind of game I run, and I tell people that in advance. I run like very combat optimized focused games because my friends are all competitive gamers. So like, that's the kind of thing that they enjoy. So like, I like role playing, but like, even from a guy like me, this kind of, it's just stupid. Like, just tell people what you want, what you want from them, okay? Don't ghost people for dumb reasons like this, y'all. Come on.
I agree. The one thing that I will say is I think for that player, I think it was like a bullet dodged, is like, okay, that is clearly not a table that you want to be at if they're going to treat you like that, even from session 0. So while it still sucks that they got treated that way, at least it wasn't like, can you imagine like halfway through a campaign and you're like invested in your character and so much lore and depth
And
that
then
you
you just
created. It's like one last thing for me, and this is like adult Anna talking with like a lot of therapy, is I'm shocked that it was the DM that had that level of communication, because like typically as a DM, you are the emotional bubble for the whole game. You are monitoring everything, you are communicating, and to not even be able to communicate like expectations properly and like just to ghost somebody, I judgingly question how good of a DM they are.
That was a good one. All right, we nailed that one. Story 1 done. Next up, we've got one that I feel like Kevin was kind of like jumping the shark because he was talking about right-wingers and tabletop. All right, welcome to Story 2. Homebrew and the Homophobic Wizard.
What a title.
This week's videos are sponsored by Geology. Look, we've been in the new year for a while now, and let's all be honest here, you guys probably already forgot about your resolutions. But Geology makes it easy to start a new one. You can finally take care of your skin and see real change in your skincare routine. They have won 42 awards for personalized skincare, recognized in Men's Health, Esquire, and Ask Men Grooming. And all you need to do to get access to this incredible healthcare is take a 60-second diagnostic quiz. They have both a morning and night routine, both of which were really easy and quick to do, but also very effective in making my skin clearer and healthier. I mean, I could feel the difference. Everything for both routines, from the night cream to the morning face cream to the eye cream, it all came in one box and it was all very affordable. If you guys are interested, what are you waiting for? Use my code Crispy'sTavern80 so that you can get 80% off your personalized skincare trial set. Thank you so much to Geology for sponsoring today's episode. As always, supporting our sponsors does support us. Without further ado, back to the commentary. I have begun watching recently and have a horror story of my own. It all starts with my first ever D&D campaign, which took place in high school. Oh, this is gonna be terrible. This is gonna be awful. Already an iffy start, but not all high school games go badly. Sure, buddy. Keep telling yourself that. I'm sure tons of people out there have amazing stories of high school campaigns. Yep. Keep telling yourself that. I just didn't have the best party. I don't know about, did you guys play D&D in high school?
No, specifically because they were all mouth breathers that were really annoying, and I not even in a good way, like not in a judgy way, but like it was the worst of the worst kids that were like the
channel,
rules
dude.
lawyers.
You can be completely judgy. You can be as judgy as you want.
Thank you. And it was very like an anti-feminist thing. I mean, I also grew up in Alberta. It's like a little bit more right-leaning than where we live now in Vancouver, and I did not feel welcome as a female. I felt like it was weird.
Yeah, we didn't have D&D in our high school. I was in theater and played a lot of theater games and stuff, but we didn't have like an RPG Slab or anything like that. So it just wasn't accessible.
Yeah, I ran a game with my like group of friends in high school, and it was Curse of Strahd, and it went so badly that the problem player...
I can imagine with those themes.
No, not even just... It was like, that's part of it, but that's like such a minor part of it. No, the problem player in question was so bad, he was following me around 2 years later, dude. 2 years.
What do you mean?
Are you gonna submit your own RPG?
No, I talked about this. I talked about this years ago.
Okay.
I talked about it while it was happening, because it happened while I was at YouTube. Just don't play D&D in high school, or do.
Just wait till you're emotionally mature.
you know. Or try, and you give free content to guys like me. Anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
Already an iffy start. I just didn't have the best party. Content warning, homophobia, but no one really gets hurt. Sure. My first issue, my character. I liked warrior cats. Oh boy. I liked warrior cats a lot back then. Do you have warrior cats? There's warrior cats is popular up in Canada?
No,
I've never heard of warrior
I don't even
cats.
know what that is.
Really? Okay, I'm surprised it hasn't made the jump. But yeah, Warrior Cats is super popular, like children's series in the States. It's about sentient cats.
Warrior cats?
Yeah, sentient cats. They have their own politics and mythology. It's pretty.
Oh, is it a book?
It's a book series. It was a thing like when I was a kid. So I don't know. Maybe it just missed you.
Like last year.
No, yeah, exactly, like 2 years ago. I liked Warrior Cats a lot back then, and the other people in this campaign thought that it was equal parts hilarious and stupid. They demanded I play a cat person. They wanted more ammunition to tease me. They kept going on and on about it, and the DM was included. Eventually, I got mad and decided to double down. I taught myself how to draw cat people overnight and made an entire character concept for my cat person character. That wasn't wise, but I was a 9th grader. You know how it is. God, they were freaking babies. This was me
like
last.
the gumption.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make my cat character. If you want me. Like that kind of sounds sad.
it's yeah, it's cute, but like if you're like getting bullied by your group, bro, leave the group. Be for real.
Yes.
Like even the tabaxis exist. Why are they making it so hard for them?
But
to
also,
make a cat
like,
person?
but that's my point. If they're gonna make it this difficult for something that's like part of D&D, because like cat people are part of the game. If they're gonna make it this difficult, bro, it's not worth it.
Yeah,
Leave
we
it.
got DMs. We've gotten DMs from a lot of people that have asked, like, how do I get out of a problem group? Because I live in a small town and the only group that plays are these people. So if I want this experience, I have to weather the storm or like put up with it. And now there's all these different programs like Start Playing Games where you can play online with like anyone in the world.
This is not sponsored by StartPlaying.games.
No, it's not.
But that adds some context to the story, because I wonder if this was like long enough ago that, because I don't know my D&D lore enough, maybe you guys know. I don't know when tabaxis were introduced.
They were, bro. Furries were in like 2nd edition.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
They've been here.
I don't know if it's specifically tabaxis, but like there's furry art going back as far as like 2nd edition.
Okay, fair. Never mind then.
It's been a while. They all wince. They say something like, I didn't think you'd actually do it, but we'll homebrew it. You told me you wanted to play a cat person for days straight. I made a character exactly like you all told me to. And then fine, we'll find you a homebrew race. They find a race that is just pitifully weak. Its only unique ability is a scratch attack, but has an inherent -2 to strength, the stat that ability uses. It has no positive bonuses I can recall. I'm brand new, so I just accept this. They also have decided that I'm playing a cleric. Whatever, might as well. Second issue, they're all experienced players in the party, but they didn't want to DM, so they made a dude who has no experience be the DM. He insisted on rolling dice for us and not letting us see the results, so we had no ability to gauge if we should keep trying or give up on the task. Like, why?
That is my personal nightmare. A bunch of people who want to play and like, no one wants to DM and have someone go in there has no clue what they're doing. DMing, like playing with a DM who's just like kind of inexperienced and like makes the game go a lot longer or like messes up certain situations is already like pulling like Taffy apart. But to have that happen, oh my god, that'd be awful.
Yeah, I can't handle this kind of thing.
Like the whole thing just sounds like a nightmare. Like made me play a class, DM that doesn't know what he's doing. I feel bad for the DM a little bit that they're like,
did this person not? I still don't understand. There are 2 cat races you can play. There's 2 cat heritage, Leonin and Tabaxi.
And why did somebody who has never homebrewed anything, who has never run a game, make the home, like, I don't know. It just sounds like, again, why are you part of this group if they're this mean to you?
It just makes it sound worse because if this group was like gaslighting the person to be like, there are no cat people actually, it doesn't exist, to know that there is one, or this person just didn't know, like.
Well, keep in mind, so like they wanted this to happen. So I don't know. This is wild. They find a race that is pitifully weak. Its only ability is a scratch attack. Second issue, they were experienced players. And then third, the experienced players were extreme power builders. They used a lot of homebrew stuff to make themselves overpowered, which is bullshit. Okay, and there's no point to min-maxing if you're just gonna use homebrew. You can just like select the first god homebrew you get off homebrewery and then call it a day, bro. The DM was their buddy, and they didn't know much about D&D, so he allowed whatever they requested. They were able to heal themselves extremely easily and were super tough, often one-shotting the boss the DM gave us. They forced me to be a cleric, and then they custom-made their build so they could easily heal themselves. They never once ended up wanting my support, despite putting me in the role. The final straw. I tried role-playing since I realized I wasn't going to be allowed to fight. The dude who owned the wizard said, and I'm quoting this as best I can, well, your character is gay, and my wizard is an old man, so I guess he's homophobic to her. Huh? No one, I repeat, no one was forcing you to make your wizard homophobic. There was no session 0 discussing if homophobia was on the table or anything either. It was honestly really funny to me because it was just so out of left field. But it made me decide I have no interest in being part of this group. Oh, freaking finally, brother, Jesus. So I quit. The sessions continued, so I didn't ruin their game. They had a lot of fun, which I'm happy about for them, but I'm glad I didn't stay personally. Lesson, don't join D&D with people who tease you constantly at school. Yeah, no shit.
ELDR. But also, I
Help this person learned a lesson.
I think for that DM, them basically making these power builds and they're one-shotting everything. Like, if I was the DM, I'd also be like, I don't want to, this isn't fun. Like, you want it to feel it's everybody's game. That sucks.
I mean, it just sounds like a bunch of power tripping bullies that just like gaslight people into playing this game.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Them
That's
else
horrible.
Wants to hang out with them.
These are
like when that door
monsters.
closes and that player and that DM leave, the rest of them are just like standing in a dark room with a spotlight. It's like nobody else will hang out with these people, and this is probably the way they like get some sort of power trip of being able to like control people or something. I don't know, but that's freaking awful.
That is
you're gay. What?
No, it's wild that the guy just randomly, arbitrarily decided that the wizard's gonna be homophobic, just like out of nowhere. We're just gonna throw it, toss it out there. Why not? That's
the classic. It's what my character would do.
My character is going to
controlling your
discriminate
character
against you.
But the layer of dunking this person had to go through with like all of these things and like weathering the storm, being like, okay, it's fine, we'll figure it out, it's fine, I want to play this game, it's fine, and then this moment, yeah, so you're gay, and my character's homophobic, so
I guess I don't
issues.
like you. But yeah, at the very least, look, 9th grade, you're like about as socially unaware as possible and probably desperate for socialization. So, like, I understand where you're coming from with this one, but yeah, don't stay in groups like this, no matter how old you are. If people treat you badly, they're not gonna treat you well magically just because like you stick around them longer. No, that's not gonna happen. But yeah, I think we capped off that one too. With that being said, we're gonna end this episode of RPG Horror Stories. We've got one from our email, we got one from Reddit. I think we learned some valuable lessons today. Did you guys take away some valuable lessons?
Absolutely. Don't hang out with people that don't like you.
Yeah, don't be with people that suck. Skill issue, right?
Skill issue.
In any case, would you guys like to roll out the red carpet? Tell us what you got going on and where the fine folks at home can find you.
Oh, well, you can follow me on @DiceCreamSandwhich, pretty much on all platforms. The year's just begun, so we've got a lot of cool projects in the works. To be continued, to be announced, hopefully very soon. So yeah, otherwise you can just see me. I post videos pretty much like every day. So
so ominous. Got things coming in.
I don't know. I can't say what things are happening yet.
That's great. And I'm Anastasia Rowland. Once again, you can find me at Anastasia Rowland on all platforms. And for those of you that back Kickstarter, the biggest thing that I'm working on right now is for Kickstarter to come out, or not back Kickstarter. Castleton will come out. Hopefully, we're aiming to be done by the end of September and then like shipping out in next year early. No promises yet, but that's where you'll find me sort of working on all things Castleton from now on.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, if you guys want to check that out, then their links are in the description. But before you head out, please do let me know that you were loyal to the tavern by leaving the comment, "Don't hang out with jerks," to let me know you made it at the end of the video. Also, you can leave a like on this one and subscribe to Crispy's Tavern so you miss every content as it comes out. And finally, if you want to support us directly, then you can head over to our Patreon or buy our merch. Remember, it's stuff like that that makes these videos possible. And that's like, comment, subscribe, support. I will see you all next time. Farewell.